What's up, all my movie-loving maniacs? This is your boy Bankful B of The Last of the Factor, and with Medea's Destination Wedding being released on Netflix over the weekend, I thought I'd take a moment to stop and rank all 13 Madea movies that have been released. Keep in mind, a lot of these movies I've either haven't seen in a long time or I've seen clips of it out of context, whether that be on YouTube or TikTok. I'm kind of ranking this a little bit cold, but for the most part, a lot of these movies I remember for the most part, especially those earlier films. So I think I got a good grasp on how to rank all of these. Without further ado, let's get into it. My bottom two are really neck and neck for me. They're really a tie because both of these movies I think are the worst, not only just the worst Madea movies, but some of the worst movies that Tyler Perry has ever made. And that is Boo! A Madea Halloween and Boo 2! A Madea Halloween. These are these movies makes me so mad about these movies is how they're conceived because and you remember that movie Top 5 with Chris Rock? He basically made a joke about Tyler Perry in that film about how he would make a Halloween themed Madea movie, and I guess Tyler Perry saw that and thought, that seems like a good idea. And I'm like, no, that is not a good idea. As Ian Malcolm once said, you were so preoccupied with whether or not you could, you didn't stop to think if you should. Obviously, these two are at the bottom for me, but which one I dislike more than the other? I refuse to watch these movies ever again, so for right now, put Boo 2 at number 13, and then put the first Boo at number 12, only because there's one particular scene within the first movie that I did like, and it involves Brian, played by Tyler Perry, and his daughter. Brian giving his daughter an ultimatum and putting his foot down with her finally. I thought that was the one scene in that movie that actually worked. But otherwise, yeah, this movie's at number 12. Still a bad movie. Another thing I want to say about these two movies and why I dislike them is that the majority of the cast in these movies are all social media stars, which is not the right mindset you should have when casting in a movie. In at number 11 is Medea's Destination Wedding, which is new to the Madea canon, and honestly, I couldn't decide which one I dislike more, the Madea Halloween movies or this more, and really all three of them are terrible. So I'm gonna just put this right here for right now. Now, the same tier I made for my Superman ranking. My bottom five are all movies that if I went my entire life without ever seeing again, I will be content. In at number 10 is Medea's Witness Protection, which I'll admit I have not seen in a long time, but I remember at the time when it came out, I thought this was definitely not only the worst Madea movie, but the worst Tyler Perry movie, until I saw the Madea Halloween movies, but we already talked about that, and those movies make this movie look just a little bit better, and I do like the fact that Tyler Perry is, I guess, having more diversity with having more white people in these movies, but at the same time, how you waste Eugene Levy, and I'm hope Denise Richards' agent got fired after making this movie because, boy, her dignity in this movie. Just remember, there was really no point to this movie. It was just Madea taking in a family that was basically in trouble with the law. And then the movie just stops to have an extended sequence where she gets on a plane just to go somewhere. This movie at the time was the first sign that we were starting to take a bit of a turn with how bad Tyler Perry movies were about to get. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying most of Tyler Perry's work is good. I'm just saying this was the first sign that things were about to take a turn for the worst. And at number 9 is Madea Family Funeral, which was the last Madea movie that was released in theaters before he started releasing everything on Amazon and Netflix. And it was supposed to be the last Madea movie where Tyler Perry would retire the character, but we all know that was a fucking lie. The whole movie was basically just Madea planning a funeral for one of her family members, but there was really no point to this movie, and it didn't even really feel like a good send-off to the character. Honestly, Madea should have been the one that died, because you gotta retire this character at some point. Remember, I took my mother and sisters to go see this movie, and we all walked away like, that just wasn't very good, wasn't it? At number 8 is Madea Homecoming, which was the first Madea movie or Tyler Perry project ever released on Netflix, and it was the first one released after Madea Family Funeral, and to its credit, it is a slight improvement over that movie, but at the same time, it still wasn't that good. It was good that Tyler Perry took a few years off as the character and came back, I guess, a little bit swinging with this movie, but again, it still wasn't that good. And the only thing that saves this movie for me is the Scottish dude that comes in playing that Mrs. Doubtfire knockoff, and it was good watching her play off of Madea. But the biggest thing that ruined this movie for me was doing the end credits where Tyler Perry did a whole reenactment of the Beyonce homecoming concert as Madea. I'm like, nobody wanted to see that, and the fact that you thought this would be funny or you legitimately wanted to do that, and right now everybody's split on what the answer is. Number 7 is A Madea Christmas, which I'd say it wasn't that bad. It was, granted, it's not good, but it's a nice little holiday movie to put on in the background to watch during the holidays. And it was fun watching Madea hang out with some more extended family members. And I do remember Larry the Cable Guy was in this movie, and it was fun watching him play off of Madea. Nice little harmless movie to have on in the background during the holidays, and that's perfectly fine for this movie. Number 6 is I Can Do Bad All By Myself, which is another one that I have not seen in a long time. And to be honest, I've never been the hugest fan of this movie. Actually, I prefer the play version over the movie version, but I do remember Taraji Henson being good in this movie. Mary J. Blige was good. All the cast all around did an excellent job. And surprisingly, this is the one Tyler Perry movie that has a high score on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't even think this is the best movie, but hey, good that the critics like this one. Number 5 is Meet the Browns, which is, I guess, a spinoff of the Madea movies because it introduces the Brown character. And I actually prefer the play version of this over the movie. But what puts this movie over for me is Angela Bassett. She's one of those actresses that, hey, even if you put her in a shitty movie, she will always give 110%. And I thought she did that here. And I actually like her story arc in this movie of being a single mother struggling. And then her son, played by Lance Gross, he's trying to get into basketball. And they just make a come up in after she meets her family, and not bad, but certainly not great, but still a harmless movie. 4 is Medea's Big Happy Family, which is definitely one that everybody at this point knows, mainly because of Tiana Taylor. Byron! This is another one where I prefer the play over the movie, but I thought this was still a decent adaptation. All the cast that's a part of this movie did an excellent job. The actual plot of this movie, I thought it was actually pretty good and relatable to a lot of people and could do a lot of healing for people if you've seen and know what this movie is about. 3 is Madea Goes to Jail. Again, I prefer the play over the movie, but I thought the movie version was pretty fun to watch. I remember I went to the theater to go see it and had a damn good time, and I thought both story arcs within this movie were pretty good. And the bit at the end of the movie where Madea does go to jail was actually funny. I ain't gonna lie, I've gone back and forth multiple times for which one I like more, Diary of a Mad Black Woman or Medea's Family Reunion, which are at my top 2. Right now, I'm gonna have Medea's Family Reunion at number 2. I remember I went to the theater to go see this. I remember the line for this movie was packed. It was long. That is the power of Tyler Perry and his movie. At times, the reason I like this one over Diary of a Mad Black Woman is just, I guess, kind of the scope story-wise, because there's definitely a lot more to work with, and all the actors in this movie, they definitely give 100% within this movie. Just like my number 1, I also go back and forth as to which one I like more, the play or the movie, and I think both versions have their merit. For me, this was definitely the movie where Tyler Perry found his stride with these movies. Number 1 is Diary of a Mad Black Woman, which is the first and the one where Tyler Perry came out swinging. And again, like, I like both the play and the movie version, but that's because both versions have different endings, and it all depends on which one you agree with more. But because of the ending change for this movie, I put this one at number 1 because I think it just works better for the movie, and I think the adaptation of the play is just a lot better. The movie just adapted and condensed the movie in a way that just made it just a good, entertaining movie to watch. That's my ranking of all 13 Madea films. Here's a quick recap. You can find it on Letterboxd. Just follow me at Last to the Factor. Now, tell me, do you agree with this ranking? Do you disagree? How would you rank all these Madea films? Let me know in the comments section below. This is your boy Bankful B of the Last to the Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.